Alright guys, welcome to my Rick and Morty Q&A. Yeah, I didn't want to have you guys wait too long for this one. So yeah, let's get on with the Q&A. As always, in case I didn't answer someone's question, that usually means that YouTube probably marked it as spam or didn't have it show up at all on the list, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, let's get started with the Rick and Morty Q&A. Hope you all enjoy. So, starting off, we have Major Badass, who asks, what stupid B-movie science trope do you want to see done in the show? I want to see the same kind of science we saw in This Island Earth. Also, I kind of want to see something done with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, if they haven't done that already. I don't think they have. I could be mistaking the episode, but whatever. Anyway, second question. Rick is sitting at a table with Reed Richards, Rusty Venture, and Stanford Pines. What happens? What type of shit do they discuss? It'd probably be over a game of poker, and they'd all be sitting there talking about how they try to one-up each other, like they're just talking about their day, and Reed's like, well, today my family went to the negative zone and battled a nihilist. No one cares, Richards. Yeah, I gotta deal with with the entire fucking galaxy. Oh, you mean like I do? I deal with the Planet Eater, too, you know. And meanwhile, Stan's like, I have to stop the apocalypse on a daily basis. You think you're the guy who's I can't do the burp, so forgive me. You think your problems are bad. Your enemy is a triangle. Your enemy is literally a shape. You know, I have to deal with the entire fucking galaxy. Oh, don't before you even say anything, Adventure, one of your enemies became your bodyguard, and the other one's a half-assed butterfly-themed villain. How do you even sleep at night? Idiots, all of you. Yeah, it would just be them having an intellectual dick-measuring contest. That's what it would pretty much amount to. Anyway, third question. If Rick was a teacher to younger geniuses like Dexter, Stewie, Jimmy Neutron, and Mary and Susan Test, and Hero, how do you think it will end? It will pretty much be him belittling all of the kids. He'd just go around being like, I'm smarter no matter what you do, no matter what you say or what you will do. No matter what you will accomplish, I will always be better than you, no matter what, so just get that in your way and we'll be fine. You know, and also, I'm going to be possibly drunk and belittling you constantly. So just mentally prepare yourselves for this. So anyway, thank you for those questions, Major Badass. Moving on now to the Omnitron12345. And his first question is, Rick and Morty meet the 9th and 12th Doctor. What happens? Alright. So what happens if the 9th Doctor and the 12th Doctor, Rick and Morty met? I'm going to say the 9th Doctor. He doesn't seem to get a lot of love these days. So, 9th Doctor, he's a little more colder, a little more aggressive, so I would have to say that he would be, he just would not agree. He would maybe agree with Rick's tactics, kind of go along with a lot of the ideas, but I think they just would not get along, but I think they would agree on a lot of the tactics they used. Anyway. So, second question. Do you think Rick is genetically enhanced by alien tech since it's stated he's 80 and does stuff no 80-year-old should be able to do? Yeah, I think, he's traveled the universe that long, so he's got to have some kind of implants, whether they be genetic modification or, cybernetic implants. He has got to have something that keeps him moving and keeps going in more ways than one. You remember what he did with Unity? Yeah. Someone's got to move that locomotive. You know what I mean? Anyway. Third question. Do you think Morty will end up as smart as Rick someday? And if so, how much different from Rick do you see him a super smart Morty being? I think eventually Morty's going to become, his own, eventually we're going to see, like, Grandpa Morty, like, maybe that'll be the series end. We see Grandpa Morty and, like, Rick Jr., as his grandson's name is Rick, and it's the continuing adventures of Rick and Morty. And I would imagine his Morty... I think the more we see of Morty hanging out with Rick, especially in Season 2, we see how much of Rick's tough decisions, we see him kind of... we see more of those choices he makes, and more of how much of it's impressioning on Morty. So, yeah, I think Morty will become a lot like Rick as he grows up. A lot more jaded, a lot more aggressive, and very just an all-around asshole. With a heart of gold. Well, heart of something. gold's a bit of a stretch. Third question. Do you think... Oh, wait, that was your third question, sorry. But anyway, thank you for those questions, Omnitron. Moving on now to Robert Larson, who asks, what is the most disturbing moment in the show? I gotta say, for me, one of the most disturbing moments in the show was when Rick just took that axe to all of his clones after the Tiny Rick moment. Yeah, he just takes his axe and just starts wailing away at all of his clones. It was a goddamn massacre, and it was really hard to watch. Anyway, also when Morty got raped in the, like, pretty much, more or less, almost got raped or molested in the bathroom that one time. Yeah, that was also a hard time to watch. Sorry to get something to drink. So yeah, second question. What is your favorite episode, and which episodes made you think? I think one of my favorite episodes is, like, a lot of the episodes from Season 2. Not to say Season 1 was bad. The pilot was pretty fun. The Unity episode was pretty good, because that one really made you go... I think out of all of them, yeah, the Unity episode and the Season 2 finale really made you go, wow, this show isn't just like something else Adult Swim created. This is something that, this has a lot of potential and a lot of, great storytelling behind it, along with great humor. Yeah, it really does make you think at times, so, good on ya. Good on you, Adult Swim, for allowing this. And also, we are getting a Season 3. Yeah, we are getting, they did announce halfway through Season 2, as I recall, that, yeah, Rick and Morty is up for Season 3. And I think there's also talk that they may just go ahead and give it Season 4 as well, depending. Anyway, so, yeah. Anyway, your third question is, Rick, Morty, and Summer go to Jurassic World. What happens? Rick's killing some genetically altered I-Rex. He's looking at the I-Rex and going, oh god, I gotta deal with this today. Hang on, Morty, I'll be right back. Anyway, staying with those questions, Robert, moving on now to Alex Inayez, who asks, what are some of your favorite moments from Rick and Morty, and whether they be batshit insane, hilarious, or both? I think that one moment that stands out to me is when they're trying to, the final episode of Season 2, where they're trying to find a new planet, and they go to a planet where everything's on a cob, and Rick's just like, no, everything's on a cob, get the fuck back in the ship. And then he's like, okay, it's either the screaming sun or the tiny planet. Planet on the cob is totally out of the question. Also, I love the moment when he finds the tiny planet, and Morty's like, Rick's like, oh, it looks exactly like Earth. And Morty's like, but there's no Africa. Oh, jeez, white people problems. I don't know, it's just the delivery of that line that made me laugh. Anyway, second question. Rick, Stanford Pines, and Star Butterfly and their respective companions meet up one day. What wacky interdimensional hijinks would they get into? Well, Rick and Stanford would be constantly going back and forth at each other, where they would literally be like, they would be kind of like comparing their grandchildren, like like Rick would be saying, yeah, my grandchildren at least gone through puberty. Well, at least mine are a pair of candy-ass social justice warriors. Oh, you take that back, you son of a bitch. Meanwhile, Star would be having a lot of fun, and Rick would be trying to analyze, because he doesn't believe in he doesn't believe in magic, so he'd be trying to science the shit out of the wand. He would also belittle Marco. He would just be like, I'm gonna call you Morty too. Because you don't deserve to have your own name. That would just be a lot of fun. But I think he would like Star a lot because of how she bullhorns and everything. Anyway, third question. If you had Rick's portal gun with the opportunity to visit any dimension you want with your best friend's sidekick, where would you go and what would you want to do? I don't know. Honestly, I don't have, as close friends as I have, I don't know if I'd, go traveling dimensions with them, because then I would just be, forced to look out for them, and I'm not good at looking out for people. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Alex. Moving on now to Shank X, who asks, where do you think the Evil Morty storyline is going to go? I think it's going to show, the whole Evil Morty storyline is going to show up maybe during Season 3. That's my thought. I think that's where we may see it again. That's what I'm thinking, at least. That's my kind of 2 cents on it, at least. Second question: what do you think of Rick's suicide attempt? Man, that just really came out of nowhere, didn't it? That just really, like, that's the scene in here, in that episode, where Rick tries to kill himself, is, like, the moment where you realize, oh god, this is more... I mean, you saw it a little bit in Season 1, but in Season 2, then that's the moment where you're like, help me, I'm feeling... Yeah, this shows that Adult Swim actually has some good content to it. It's weird, too, because I feel like Adult Swim runs a tighter ship than the rest of Cartoon Network. Like, they know... Like, I don't know who's in charge of Adult Swim, but you have got your shit together. Granted, a lot of... you've got Toonami back, and you've got, other shows. A lot of them I don't like because they're meant for stoners, but still, you actually know how to, get your shit together. Unlike the rest of... Cartoon. Sometimes I feel like Cartoon Network it's actually gotten better. It's better than the dark days of the live action shows. It's a lot better than those the dark times of the live action shows. But yeah, with Teen Titans Go being played every single hour, oh my god. And anyway, I could go in a whole tirade for that, but that's for another time. Anyway, sorry about that. And your third question is, what did you think of the episode with Scary Terry, and do you hope he comes back? I don't want Scary Terry to come back! Hell no! No! Well, actually, it would make a good story, so, yeah. So, name of those questions, Shank X, Shank X, I hope I'm saying that right. I always feel like I'm mispronouncing it. Anyway, RipRec69 asks, how do you think Phil Coulson would handle Rick? The same way you have to look at you see, it would have to be like something of the equivalent of dealing with the Doctor. Because Rick's a dangerous person. He is probably also known as the most dangerous person, at least in his universe. So with Rick, Rick would be Here's the best way to describe how Phil would probably try to handle Rick. Get him on his side, because like I said, Rick's like the Doctor. You want him as your friend because you don't want him as your enemy. Yeah. Yeah, Rick is... The dude built a entire universe to power his, car battery. What do you think he would do to entire, quote-unquote, wounded secret organization? So, just let that sink in, is that Coulson would try to get Rick to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, I burped in mid-sentence. I'm becoming more and more like Rick every day. Yay. So that's how I see it. Second question. Rick and Morty end up in super jail. What happens next? Rick is killing his way through several hundred inmates in the most violent, bloody scenes ever. Also, when are we going to get super... I don't think we'll ever get super jail back. Seriously. Come on, what the fuck? Remember when I said Adult Swim had their shit together? Now that I think about it, I kind of take it back because, Metalocalypse... I don't know if Metalocalypse is coming back. I don't know if Super Jail's coming back. Ugh! And now that Aqua Teen's gone, what the hell, man? Anyway. So there you go. Third question. What happens when Rick and Doc Brown finally meet? I think he would, Rick would look at the DeLorean and be like, mine now, bitch! And just steal it. Like, he would just steal it and be like, and Morty would just be like, why did you do that? Because it's a DeLorean. You know how much these things cost? A fuck ton. Plus, it can travel through time. I'm gonna go get me some... I'm gonna go back and get me some caveman shrimp. You're welcome to come along too, Morty, but I don't know if you're gonna be a bitch about it. Maybe you'll become your own great-grandfather or some shit. Anyway, so think of those questions, Rip-Wreck. Moving on now to Wolfman the Impaler. First question. Due to some interdimensional mumbo-jumbo, Rick accidentally brings you and several people of your choosing to a universe full of monsters made of pot. What do? I'm getting used to this at this point, Impaler. I'm kind of getting used to these kind of questions. I think, I think I would just be, grab some trail mix and maybe some other food to get my munchies on, and go to town. That's all I gotta say on the matter. So, anyway, Second question. Your second question is